the the mindset that we've seen recently of like, oh, just compare yourself to yourself, like don't compare yourself to others. I don't think that's realistic at all. I think it's totally human to compare yourself to others, because I like to think of everything without all the bullshit. Imagine we're just in the tribes, right? Tribe of
Yeah.
150 cavemen working together. Bro, caveman 26 is comparing himself to all of the other cavemen near his level because he needs to make sure that he's on par with them or surpassing them so that he can elevate his status, so that he can sleep with more of the women, that he can ensure that he's not going to be kicked out of the tribe. It was always, absolutely always a human trait to compare yourself with other men in your tribe. It's just now that it's no longer just our tribe anymore. I think that's the issue. It's like it was a normal, healthy, effective trait of the human brain to compare against the people we're next to level up, to see, okay, if every man around me is stronger, faster, fitter, better, more resourceful, that most likely is going to mean that I'm not going to be able to pass on my like seed, my blood to the next generation. If every man is moving faster than me, I'm comparing myself to it because that most likely could mean that I might be left behind. So I think this is totally normal, but I think the issue is, in the modern day, it's that we don't just compare with our tribe, we compare with everyone.
Yeah, our tribe is the world.
That's the issue, because now the tribe is the world, isn't it? So now it's like, in some ways it could be, we can almost say it slightly could be valuable in like a tribe like this, like a community, because we're closer together than we are otherwise. But especially with, let's say, YouTube and just the internet in general, and Instagram and everything, it's like you're looking at too many people. There should have been genuinely about 50 guys that you ever really compare yourself with. So the researchers have
Yeah.
always shown that humans have always been in tribes of about 150. That was always our magic number, which probably means that there's probably roughly 50 grown men in this tribe, right? 50 men, 50 women, and then like 50 children, 25 elderly people or something. You're probably not going to compare to them. So that literally through your entire life, you probably should have compared yourself to 50 men. We probably do that per day now, when you think about how fucky that is. That literally our entire life should have been in our tribe. It's very unlikely that we would have like compared ourselves to the enemy tribe that we were currently like raiding or something. It's very unlikely that we would have had a deep psychological analysis. You know what I mean? It doesn't, like, most likely it's just for your own old school tribe. Now it's like it's on steroids because we're on YouTube, and you can't help but compare yourself to me. You can't help but to compare yourself with everyone else. Then you see it on Instagram, then you see it in this community, and especially in like these productive spaces where everyone's like, yeah, I made 50K last month, I made 10K last month, I made this. And we don't say these things to put anyone else down. It's just, to acknowledge our success. The only way I was able to, so I've never been able to not compare myself personally. So either I'm just different, and all those, like, those soft looking guys who say like, yeah, don't compare yourself to others, maybe like they're healthier than me, I don't know, but I've never been able to stop. I've tried to, but it's like I just don't think it's natural to stop. So the way that it stopped like being like that for me is that I got to such a good level where most of the guys I compare myself to don't have the level of success that I do. So that gives me like a nice feeling of success. But what's interesting is that it doesn't actually matter where you are. So if I see someone else who's more successful than me, I still compare, and I still feel some levels of like slight feelings of like inadequacy. And I can feel that it's not like, I'm really negative, because of course I'm learning from the guy and it's positive. It's usually a good interaction. But I think it's just like, I don't think that feeling really ever goes away, especially not for like competitive status seeking men. I think even if you've got like a friend, even then you're still comparing yourself to them. Genuinely, I think the only way that you're not is when you've already like completely concluded in your mind that you're better than them, and at that point it's like you already did compare yourself, but now you've just put yourself at such like a comfortable position that you don't need to anymore. Literally, most of the shit that we do is comparing with each other. That's what sparring really is. That's what fighting is. We're just comparing our skill against each other. I think this modern day, like, that piece of advice, I think it's done more pain than good, honestly, because I think we're trying to act unnatural. Instead of trying to not compare yourself to others, I think you should put yourself in the environments where the guys you are comparing yourself to are really where you should be, and that's like, okay, you can learn from them and everything. So you don't want to compare yourself to like the guy on Instagram who's lying about his life, who's showing you the highlights and stuff. But maybe you do want to compare yourself to the guys in this kind of community where like these guys are actually being real, and they're talking about their progress and everything. And so it's like, okay, like whilst it kind of maybe hurts some primal part of us, there's lots to learn from the guys who are posting about their success.